Hey folks, walk with me. Well, there was a question that came up. How do you know that you're not meditating or being mindful all day long as a way to just bypass real life or past trauma or current relationship issues or, whatever it is? How do you know that you're not using that just to mask, avoid, bypass, really dealing with those other things? I I have a lot of ideas on how to approach this. One of those would be, how do you know that you're not denying using mindfulness and meditation because you think that they are avoiding of real problems or the real world? That's a bit of a sidebar. The real crux, I think, is one, creating a deeper, more meaningful connection to yourself, to the life that you're experiencing. That is the key of meditation and mindfulness. It's not this escape hatch that you're going through. It is a deeper, more meaningful experience of life. And just because it's different, right? Just because it may mean that you don't run around anxiety-ridden and frantic, as especially in the US, we've been trained that we must be, right? I think there's a lot of people who suffer from this idea of, if I just seem frazzled and frantic all the time, people will think, I'm working hard, or I'm trying to be successful, or, I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be, or I'm paying attention to all the hard things in life. I think that's a dangerous path to go down at the least. And walking, for example, walking meditation or mindfulness while walking, with every step thinking, yes, thank you. What is not part of the real world about that? What is more real about sitting up at night worrying about an email that you got from your boss at the end of the day that said he needs to meet with you tomorrow, right? What's more real about that than staying up at night and wondering, is my boss going to fire me? Am I going to be transferred to another role that I don't want? What's more real about that than mindfully eating your dinner and focusing intensely on every bite, and getting a more depth of experience from that because you are fully immersed in it, right? Instead of staying up and worrying, my boss sent me this email, what's she gonna do tomorrow? What's the meeting about? Instead of that, what's more real staying up worrying about that than focusing on your breathing so that you can enjoy what's happening at that moment, not what you're just concocting in your head, what may happen tomorrow, or what's in somebody else's mind, why she wants to have this meeting with you. What's less real about sitting there and focusing on your breathing, focusing on your sleep, enjoying the bed or wherever it is that you're laying, enjoying the comforter that you have over your body, the pillow, settling into a deep experience with those things. That's what's really there at that moment. What's not really there, what you're actually really just making up in your head, is the worry. That's completely concocted. Even if there's some plausibility to it, even if it's happened in the past, right? So you have past experience to go off of. It is still a more fictitious script of things than focusing on the thing that's actually happening at the moment. Whatever that is, eating, walking, breathing, reading, sleeping, any of those things are more real. So I think even just redefining what real world is, Because how you get to the idea that the real world is actually the worries and the fears and the concerns that you have. And in the same way, the hopes, the dreams, the wants, the wishes, the greed, those are equally, they're the same thing. They just maybe feel better to think about, right? But none of those things are here right now. The thought of the thing that you hope to have, the dream that you have, the thought is here now, but the thing is not here. So to be mindful and maybe meditate on the thought of the hope. But the hope, just the same as the worry, it's not here. You're imagining that. You're concocting that. And in many ways, we've been convinced to think that that's the right way to be, right? That you're being a productive member of society. You constantly have your spotlight out and you're searching for the next danger. You're coming up with plans on how to take care of it if all goes to hell. Again, to me, it's primarily the concept of what are you defining as real and why. I would say the meditation, the mindfulness, the deeper enriching of an experience that's actually happening is more real, is the most real. And some crazy noise. It's like a banshee. So that would be my 2 cents. That's the way I think of it. And I understand the concern, if you will, but I think that the concern is sort of rooted in an erroneous presupposition of what we should, or how we should, or why we should consider something real versus not real. All right, folks. Well, another one, just like yesterday's walk, came up almost to 8 minutes, but we'll cut it short. This means that you don't get any commercials in the middle of the video, because that only happens for videos over 8 minutes. So I'll take some revenue off my plate to give you less commercial interruption. But in any case, if you walked with me or if you watched this far, I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next video.